footwork, slide.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Big Yah, not the biggest but the largest, and welcome to YahWay TV. For our first episode, we are going to start with a little history lesson. But before that, Georgia, we need to have a public service announcement. Wake up, Georgia. Now, I'm tired of scrolling through my feed and all I see is Georgia film industry is dying this and Georgia's dried up that. I'm tired of the negativity. Does anybody have anything else to say? Well, I do. Let's get back to that history. Do y'all know about the Paramount Decrees? It's okay if you don't. That's what this is for. So, from the 1920s to the 1940s, the film industry was run by the Big Five and Little Three studios. The companies within the Big Five produce, distribute, and exhibited their films. In other words, a studio could make a movie, distribute it nationally, and show it in its own chain of theaters. This gave them enormous power. While the Little Three could only produce and distribute films, they did not own theaters. What type of problems do you think this caused? Well, theaters were forced to buy films in packages. Theaters had to commit to films without previewing them. Studios granted exclusive access of film to their own theater chains or select larger circuits, leading to independent producers and independent theaters struggling to survive. In 1938, the U.S. Department of Justice filed an intrusive lawsuit against major studios, and after years of negotiation, the case finally reached the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that the studios were violating antitrust laws. They ordered studios to divest their theaters along with several other orders. The decision became known as the Paramount Decrees. You can imagine how that changed filmmaking? You're probably wondering, why the long history lesson? Because in 2020, the U.S. Department of Justice announced it would phase out the Paramount Decrees, arguing the marketplace had changed due to streaming. Now I'm going to say it again. Wake up, Georgia! I know a lot of you remember Pinewood Studios before it was bought by Dan Cathy, the chairman of Chick-fil-A, then renamed the Trulift Studios. Well, guess what? GTC Movies is opening a new location in Trulift, not Fayetteville, Trulift.
Yo, look what I made. Look what I made. Look what I made.
All right. That's enough for the history lesson today. Let's move on to something fun. So, can we give a round of applause to the return of a different world? Yay! Debbie Allen, I see you, girl. The sequel series filmed their pilot episode in Georgia and was picked up by Netflix. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Don't forget that Reasonable Doubt Season 4 was renewed by Hulu and will continue production in Georgia. You know, I didn't know that Season 1 of production was shot in LA, but the production moved to Georgia for Season 2 due to our terrific tax incentives. Aw, man, I said tax incentives. Sorry, guys. I know we just finished our history lesson, but I have to talk about this. As you all know, Georgia film tax incentive up to 30%. 20% being base transferable tax credits, and plus 10% bonus for including the Georgia Peach logo in the final credits. There's no cap to total payouts. Productions don't need to raise to apply before funds run out. It's easy to qualify. There's an established crew, and the production can get their money back quickly through transferable credits. Now, with countries in Europe, the incentives share common patterns. They have rebates, which means the government writes the production a check, which can range from 25 to 50% in rebates depending on the country. UK, Hungary, and Spain have world-class crew and studios. Europe is strong for period pieces, fantasies, and prestige dramas because of their architectural diversity. And US production have a possibility of accessing grants and regional incentives if they're partnered with a European country, which can fund 10 to 30% of the budget on top of rebates. Let's move on to the cons. Georgia requires the production to spend most of their money in state, which limits flexibility. Some filmmakers dislike showing the Peach logo, and the demand for crew sometimes create shortages due to high competition. On the other hand, most of their countries require cultural tests like having European cultural themes. Many programs cap the annual money, so if the funds run out, production must wait a year. Wow. I swear, I'm really done with the history lesson this time. But I would love to hear what you all have to say. Where would you shoot your film? Scan the QR code and submit your opinions. Now back to the fun stuff. A new prequel for the Hunger Games called Sunrise on the Reaping is set to hit theaters November 20th, 2026. The prequel will focus on young Haymitch during the 50th Hunger Games. Now, you know I can talk about the new film without mentioning the new parody of Hunger Games with Grace Reiter. It's all over the internet. How could you miss it? Scary Movie 6, wrapped up in Georgia, and the theatrical release is set for June 12, 2026. Y'all, don't miss out on the new movies coming out to your theaters in December. Grab a friend, even if they don't want to go to the movies, go to the theaters. Theaters are fun. Make the most out of the experience. Also support your local owned theater as well as the Plaza Theater that's in Atlanta, the Terra Theater that's also in Atlanta, or even Decatur Screen on the Square event. Now, thank y'all for watching YahWay TV, and I'll see y'all later.
Footwork, slide, slide, slide. Footwork, slide, slide, slide. Footwork. Big guy, can't worry about them, I gotta get mine. Big guy, don't let them disturb, I can't spend time. Big guy, if it ain't for me, kill it, I don't mind. Big guy.